Did you know that your attachment style dictates whether or not you are going to be faithful in a relationship? It's true, and this is just one of the many things that attachment theory explains about our relationships. So what is attachment theory? Put simply, attachment theory explains how our early experiences with our parents shape our close relationships across our lifespan. In this video, I'll explain the 4 different attachment styles, how they develop, and then some of the most interesting facts about how each attachment style interacts with another. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit the like button so that this video can reach more people. Let's dive in. So when we think about our early experiences, we often think about things like emotional regulation, self-esteem, and identity development. But did you know that our early experiences also shape our attachment style? Our attachment style becomes the blueprint for how we relate to others later in life. This is why it is so important to understand what attachment theory is and the 4 different types of attachment styles. The 4 different attachment styles are secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. Let's get into the differences between these styles and how they develop, starting with the most desirable attachment style, which is secure. Secure attachment refers to the healthy way of relating to others that develops when our needs are consistently met by our parents or caregivers. People with a secure attachment tend to have a positive self-image, and they trust that those around them have good intentions. They feel comfortable with intimacy, and they are able to work through conflict in a constructive manner. Moving on to the 3 less desirable attachment styles. The first one we will look at is anxious attachment. Anxious attachment develops when our needs are inconsistently met by our parents or caregivers. In order to keep us safe, our brains create the narrative that the only way to meet our needs is to constantly check in with those around us to make sure that they won't leave us. This results in a heightened fear of abandonment, and as adults, this makes it difficult for us to trust that others will be there for us. We tend to feel clingy because we need constant reassurance. The next attachment style is called avoidant. Avoidant attachment develops when our needs are consistently ignored by our parents or caregivers. Because of this, we learn that the only way to meet our needs is to do it ourselves. As a result, we tend to have a negative self-image. We may even feel ashamed for needing others. We push people away to protect ourselves from getting hurt, and we struggle to trust that others will be there for us. This attachment style is often characterized by emotional unavailability and a tendency to self-isolate. Lastly, we have the disorganized attachment style. This attachment style develops when our parents or caregivers are either frightening to us or the only ones who can meet our needs. This could look like a parent who is emotionally abusive or neglectful. Sometimes the parent can even be physically abusive. This attachment style is the most severe, and it leaves us feeling hopeless in relationships. We will either become extremely dependent on others or completely avoidant. Either way, this attachment style leaves us feeling confused about what we want and unable to regulate our emotions. So now that you know the 4 different attachment styles and how they develop, let's talk about the most interesting facts about how each attachment style relates to one another. Number 1. To secure people together. When two secure people come together, it is the match made in heaven. You might be thinking, well, of course, but research actually shows that we are more likely to be attracted to someone who has the same attachment style as us. So when two secure people come together, they tend to have higher relationship satisfaction, better communication skills, and are more able to work through conflict in a healthy way. Number 2. A secure and an anxious person together. This pairing is like oil and water. The anxious person craves a reassurance that the secure person isn't able to give. The anxious person will begin to feel more anxious in the relationship, and the secure person will feel smothered by the anxious person's neediness. Oftentimes, the anxious person will get frustrated because the secure person doesn't understand their need for reassurance, and the secure person gets frustrated that the anxious person can't trust them. Number 3. A secure and an avoidant person together. Similar to the previous pairing, this one doesn't work out too well either. The secure person will feel frustrated because they have a hard time understanding why the avoidant person always pushes them away. The avoidant person will feel smothered by the secure person's neediness, and they will continue to push them away until the secure person gives up. Number 4. 2 anxious people together. When 2 anxious people come together, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. Both people will be hyper-focused on the relationship. They will spend all their time together and constantly check in with each other to make sure that the other person still wants to be with them. While this may seem cute in the beginning, it can quickly become overwhelming and exhausting for both people. Eventually, one or both partners will feel smothered and the relationship will fizzle out. Number 5. 2 avoidant people together. When 2 avoidants come together, it's like 2 ships passing in the night. They will both be focused on themselves and their own lives and may not prioritize the relationship. They will avoid conflict and focus on the positive aspects of the relationship. But ultimately, this leads to a lack of intimacy, and the relationship may fizzle out because neither person is willing to make it a priority. Number 6. A secure and a disorganized person together. This pairing can be tricky. The disorganized person's conflicting feelings of wanting to be close to someone, but also pushing them away, can leave the secure person feeling confused and frustrated. The secure person may try to help the disorganized person work through their issues, but the disorganized person may not be ready or willing to do that work. Ultimately, the security of the relationship will depend on the willingness of both parties to understand and accept each other's differences. Number 7. An anxious and a disorganized person together. When an anxious person gets involved with a disorganized one, it can be a toxic combination. The disorganized person's conflicting feelings of wanting to be close to someone, but also pushing them away, can be especially confusing and distressing for the anxious person. The anxious person may become even more anxious and clingy in the relationship, which can push the disorganized person further away. And number 8. Two disorganized people together. When two disorganized people come together, it's like a train wreck in slow motion. Neither person is willing to prioritize the relationship, and they both push each other away while also being dependent on each other. They may not be able to communicate effectively or work through conflict in a healthy way. Instead, they may resort to blaming, criticizing, and manipulating each other. Now, I didn't cover every possible attachment style combination, but hopefully this gave you an idea of how our attachment styles play out in relationships. So what attachment style do you think you have? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button so that it can reach more people. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.